Hello and welcome back to Redirecting. I'm going to be talking about the lack of protection for Black women in this world. Now, there was a video shared with me, and the person who shared the video, they kind of said in the email, Sister Deborah, I just saw this video of a white man attacking a Black female while she was at work. And they said they were just kind of hot about it, just kind of really upset. And so I just took a peek at it. For the past week or so, I'd say, I've been kind of staying away from certain stories and just kind of chilling a little bit. But on this one, I wanted to chime in because I'm looking at the reactions of the people that were surrounding this woman. Okay. Now, when you look at the video, you're going to notice that this white man, which is much bigger than this Black woman, not that that matters. He's a man. She's a woman. OK, but he's much bigger than she is. But he reached out and grabbed her really hard towards him. So he assaulted her. He put his hands on her and yanked her towards him. And so in self-defense, she starts to swing on him. She's, protecting herself from this person who has attacked her. But the reason why I say there is a lack of protection for the Black woman, and that is worldwide, because this is what we see. I'm saying this in this case because there's always this knee-jerk reaction to protect the other person when the Black woman is the victim. Now, in this case, it was a white male that was attacking her, but it was still a knee-jerk reaction to protect him from her. It's like, what the heck is going on in people's minds? And the reason why I'm saying this, and the person who did their commentary, I believe it was Everybody Hates Angel, even in his commentary, he saw it the same way, to where it seems like they were pulling her off of him. I mean, as a matter of fact, it doesn't seem like it. They clearly were. They were pulling her off of him. You see, no one came to her defense. The initial response, in my opinion, by all of these men of different racial backgrounds there, it looks like we saw an Asian man there, white men, Black men. In my opinion, you have a woman being assaulted by a man. You should have tried to hold him, restrain him. But the knee-jerk reaction was to protect him from the Black woman. Now, many of them will probably say, no, that's not what we were doing. We were trying to just break it up. But your response in breaking it up is to pull on her. Now, while you're pulling on her, he could have gotten in some blows. He could have hit her in the face, punched her in the face, because you're pulling on her, which is restraining her from protecting herself, because they're still holding each other at this point. And so it is very, very frustrating for me as a Black woman, and I'm pretty sure many other Black women who see these sorts of things. And we see even our Black men protecting white men from the Black woman. And of course, yes, I have seen cases where Black men and boys, young men, have protected white women from Black women. There was a case where two young women were fighting. One was Black, one was white, and there were two Black males there. They started beating down the Black girl to protect Becky from the Black woman. Their reaction was to beat down the Black woman. And when I say beat down, they were kicking her and stomping her to protect Becky's honor. Instead of just letting the two women fight it out or just trying to simply break it up, these men felt like, oh, because the Black woman was getting the best of Becky, instead of being men and just breaking it up or letting them fight it out, they decided to put their feet and their hands on the Black woman, which is disgusting. These men are deplorable creatures. Anytime a Black man will beat a Black woman for Becky's honor, you are a pitiful, ridiculously low man And I can say much more than that, but I'm going to leave it right there. But you're pathetic, as you see. And I didn't really mean to go here on this. I really didn't even want to talk about this, but it is very frustrating. Like the person who sent the email, they said that they were really messed up by this. And I saw it as well. The fact that this man felt like he had a right to put his dirty, rotten, filthy fingers on this woman. It shows that everyone thinks that the black woman can just take it all, bear it all. The white man abuses the black woman. The black man abuses the black woman. We've seen Asian shop owners. We've even seen white women with their verbal abuse because they know that their hero black man is going to rescue them from the black woman if she's ever a damsel in distress. Oh, if the black woman ever lifts a finger against Becky in self-defense, you can rest assured if there's a black man around, he's going to tug on the black woman to save the Becky. Unless, of course, he is an honorable man, in that case, he would simply break it up. But he's not going to defend the Becky over the black woman. And for those of you who think this is racist, we constantly get emails. My husband and I, we get emails from white people telling us how racist we are, how full of hate we are when we address these situations. My question is, how would you respond if a black man was doing this to a white woman? Would you bow your knees in prayer for him? Would you declare how much you love this black man after he's done this to Becky? See, the hypocrisy in this reprobate nation is off the chain. When you present the same facts in reverse, there is deflection. And it's always a lie. Oh, yes, I would forgive. No, you won't, because you don't have a track record of doing that. And so I was very, very disturbed by this whole incident, looking at this man putting his hands on our sister like that, and then seeing all of these other people not defending her. Now, I can see if it was a woman and you're just trying to break it up, trying to get both women off of each other. But in this case, you have a big man. One of those men in that establishment should have defended their co-worker from this beast. But that is not what we saw. No one cares about liability when it comes to protecting the damsels in distress. Okay. But when it comes to protecting the black woman, everyone backs off and just throws up their hands and say, I don't want to get involved. We just call it as we see it. Now, every so often we will see a brother. Many times they're from the Nation of Islam. I remember there was a big brother who saw an Asian man or heard of an Asian man attacking a sister. He went up there to this place and he got all in this man's face and told him to keep his cotton picking hands off of our women. And then there was another case where this white man got in a pregnant black woman's face, was talking all kinds of trash. And this stranger who didn't know her, he came to her defense, got in between the two and dared him to put his filthy hands on this woman, this pregnant woman. And so you do have many of our brothers who will step up in and protect our women. But many times you will have our brothers who will simply hold the camera, film the whole incident, and scream "World Star" while laughing. I've seen more videos doing that than I have seeing brothers come to the rescue of our sisters. Now, that is a scenario that must change. We have got to protect each other. Everyone is entitled to protection. We are not saying provoke anything, but what we are saying is protection is in order when you have people who feel like that they can put their hands on our people. There was a 7-year-old girl who was just shot and killed by a white man who just randomly started shooting in the car of this woman with her children. And I know it was racially motivated. Of course, they don't like to put that spin on it because they say you can't prove it. Why else would a white man shoot in the car of a woman with children? Don't tell me you felt threatened by the 7-year-old and the other children and the woman who were doing nothing to you. Your lying reprobate mind is going to just explode with these lies at some point. Family, listen, it gets very frustrating talking about and dealing with these things. I know many of you kind of keep away from these things. It's very difficult at times, but I've been trying to, because sometimes the pressure of all of these things get to you. They really do. When you feel like no changes are being made, we know what the answer is. We talk about it all the time. We know what the answer is, and we know the reason why these things are happening. But it still doesn't take away from the frustration and the anxiety that we may feel when we hear about these things. And you see that the news is trying to spin the story to where they're trying to make it seem as though this was an alleged shooting. They know what happened. I remember when I first read about the story days ago, the shooting of the little 7-year-old girl. I remember looking at the article, reading the article, and it said the man was described as driving a pickup truck and having a beard. Right away, when they didn't identify the race and they said pickup truck and beard, I knew who the perpetrator, what his race was. I knew it. But I said they are not giving that information out right now because they are hypocrites. They are unfair reprobates. Okay, I'm finished with this, family. I'm done with this. I just wanted to report on this real quickly. Thanks to the person who shared this with me. I don't remember your name, but thanks for sharing this with me. And I know what you mean when you say that this had you really bothered, because I felt the exact same way as many of us do. But when karma, as they call it, catches up, they're going to be like, who in the hell left the gate open? Okay, family, I'm out. Be sure to ring the bell to be notified of new uploads on this channel, and also comment, share, like, and subscribe.